The Grillaz on the Rebel.
It's your Rock Authority Rebel FM. It's Saturday afternoon. It's Cleggy joined by two Scotties in the studio. We've got Grillaz Scotty, obviously, but we've got Scott Imlach, the owner of multiple awesome bars.
Award-winning.
Award-winning, indeed. Some would say you're the king of bars, mate. Welcome and thanks a lot for joining us. We appreciate it.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Mate, you're from New Zealand. I detect it a little bit in your accent. Similar to me, I'm a Pom, and we've got a real...
Are you really?
I'm an Englishman, yeah.
Oh, wow. Believe it or not.
Yeah. And we've got a...
I did spend 10 years there.
Did you really?
In Ireland, yeah.
Well, this is leading on to my...
I'll leave the room,
my
guys.
question. What I love about your venues, mate, is you do it differently a little bit over here. And I think coming from England and I think coming from New Zealand as well, there's a real good pub culture. You've got some really good restaurants and bars and yeah, tell us about the journey. How did you get into it?
Well, originally I started off as a wedding planner back in New Zealand, back when I was 18 years old, because I couldn't get a job doing anything else, and just jumped into that. And I was too young to serve beer, so I must have been 17 actually. So they threw me in the wedding department, dealing with all the brides and stuff like that, and just went through the hotel trade there. And just worked my way out from there.
You would have learned a lot dealing with the brides.
It was a tough gig. It was a tough gig, and funny enough, it was a good gig and a really good learning experience because you learn everything when you do weddings. You learn everything from the setups to the bar trade to the food to everything. So it was a real good foundation to start with. Then I just floated around for a couple of years, and then went over to England and ran into a guy called Michael Teal over there. The first night I was over there. He was setting up a bar group called the Outback Inn back in those days, which turned out to be the Walkabout group.
Oh, my God, really?
And then he asked me if I wanted to come along and start them with him. So I was, okay, I did that and ended up doing that for 10 years. And we grew from 1 to 49. And then,
wow.
Did not know this. And
then we come
Good
back.
research.
Yeah, so we, I've actually just got back from a reunion with the 15 original guys that started Walkabout.
Walkabout's
just last
epic
week.
in England.
Like,
we used to absolutely love them. When we were at university, we'd always be at Walkabout.
Is it an Aussie bar?
Yeah, Aussie bar.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Aussie bar, they used to be the biggest thing over there. Normally 1,000 capacity, just going off every week.
Yeah, how good.
We were the highest seller of cider in the UK.
We used to drink cider.
And we never sold 1 pint of cider. It was all this drink called Snakebite.
Yep. Snakebite.
Snakebite.
This is
Half
crazy.
cider, half lager, but we hold the record for the biggest points of. We could do $100,000 pound days over there. $100,000 pound days over there in those venues. They were just pumping back in the day, and just, they were printing money. I wish I owned them, but no.
Yeah. I wonder if I wonder if that's where I got Snakebite from, because we used to drink it at uni, and maybe it was in Walkabout where it first came about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might have actually, because someone started drinking them, and then we just. Way it went, and just we rocketed them. Yeah.
Bit of blackcurrant on top as well. Yeah,
that's it. We had a famous day over there called Snakebite Sundays, and everyone used to be covered in red.
How
red.
good!
There's white shirts were all covered in red by the time they finished.
I remember it well.
But what a learning curve for you to when you come over here and start your own venues and things like that.
Well,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's what brings me on to me. I said it at the start that you do things differently. You've got some amazing beers on tap. You've got really good food. I remember down at Buying when I first came over, we used to go all the time. We get the 50-cent chicken wings. Was it on a Wednesday?
Now
or
75 cents.
75. I mean, look, inflation.
Inflation. Are the chicken any bigger?
But is that for you, Scott? Is it really important to kind of do things right? And what's the blend in the bar? What do you kind of aim for when you're opening a bar?
I aim for venues where mates can meet mates, and people can meet new people and stuff like that. And I still love the English pub culture. Don't get me wrong. I was over there last month. I was just jealous of the pub culture over there.
Yeah,
Australia's got pubs wrong. They're too big. They put too many pokies in, and they're run by multi-million-dollar companies.
Great.
And that's why I try to do things a little bit different, especially in the pub culture. I try to Buying it's officially in a restaurant, but we operate it as sort of a bar pubby style. But it's more about creating that atmosphere, a good vibe where you feel safe. Everyone knows the bar staff, everybody has fun, and that's what it's all about. Really, good pub quality food.
Absolutely.
And you're spot on there too with the pokies all through. I mean, it's so hard to find someone with just a live music, just a 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, just sitting around having a beer, having a chat with your mates, your wife or your family, whatever, and then listen to some quality music too and drinking some good beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the whole issue. It's just that we've got the culture wrong over here because of these big pokey machines, and you know, I still remember the day when I left England and come back over here to Australia, and I got a job with Coles up in West Burleigh, actually, the Burleigh Town Tavern. And I said to the area manager, well, what do you want me to work on, food or beverage first? He goes, I don't care about either of those, just worry about that one room over there, and pointed to the pokey room.
Yeah, wow.
Because they make so much money. And that's the problem you got now, is that these pokey machines each pokey machine's worth between $450,000 and $650,000 per machine.
Yeah.
But what you've got now is any normal person that wants to open a pub has been priced out of the market because AVC and Woolworths have gone and brought all the pubs, paying ridiculous prices for them. And that's why the pub culture will end up dying a little bit over here because of those two companies.
Well, you're defying them, and you have been for quite a long time
It's
now.
great.
But it is absolutely. I mean, Hideaway. Hideaway is yours?
Yeah, Hideaway is mine. It's been my bread and butter for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up 9 years old now. We haven't changed a lot since we've been there. It's still the good value food. It's not top end, but it's not bottom end. It's affordable, and it's still one of the only restaurants on the Gold Coast that we can handle big groups. We can handle up to 30, 40, 50 people in one group at a time. So we can do big numbers in there, but and it's a great venue. We pump the food out and away we go.
When you move a venue on or you sell a venue to new providers, do you feel a part of you is lost because you created that sort of atmosphere?
I do. I feel a bit part of it lost, and I sometimes get a bit guilty because it just loses a bit of the vibe of what I do, and I very rarely go back into them after I leave them. Unless I really have to meet somebody there or something. But some of them I just fall off the wagon, and they lose the vibe that I created, and that annoys me. Or they'll cut the cost and they'll bring something in a lot cheaper, a menu product a lot cheaper than what I was getting, just to save costs. Where I won't do that. I always try to have quality.
Yeah. Look, you've got several venues in the Nobbies and Mermaid area, and how's that affected you with the bloody light rail at the moment? I know you've been quite vociferous, telling people about car parks and how things have affected you, and has it detrimentally affected your businesses down there?
To be honest, we were on the bones of our ass. If we hadn't been cashed up, we wouldn't have got through it. I feel so sorry for a lot of businesses on that Gold Coast Highway. Yeah. We were right because we were cash flow positive. But we went through a period of maybe 12 months where we didn't make a cent. We did not make a cent, and people couldn't get to Nobbies, people couldn't get to Mermaid. It was just horrible. There was dust, there was tradies everywhere. And it's still going on like that. We got lucky when Daniel Beach built the Oxley, and he brought people back to Nobbies, and we got lucky with that. And but the effect now is Burleigh is no good at all. Burleigh is absolutely rubbish down there at the moment. The young kids have got in there because the normal people don't want to go there because it's horrible. You get down there, there's just roadworks everywhere.
It's a pain in the arse.
It's a pain in the arse, mate.
Absolutely.
You can't get a car park. You can't do anything. Hopefully it will come back when the tram has been rebuilt, but it's done a lot of damage to a lot of businesses. And you'll see, I just went past somebody the other day and it was closed again, or somebody in Mermaid. It's just, people are just still closing their businesses because of this light rail situation.
Yeah.
I gave up arguing with the guy, spending more time arguing with it than working on my business. So I went back to working on my businesses. Yeah. But Nobbies has really turned around now. Burleigh probably will turn around. But the other issue you've got is when these businesses close down, say a nail centre closed down or a closed shop's closed down, with a lot of what the online businesses are coming on, they don't go back in there. So then we get more hospitality to go back in there. So then you got more and more competition because everyone thinks it's easy to make money out of hospitality, but it's not. It's a skill and it's an art. It's like, probably radio. It's a skill and art to do radio. It's everything. It's not just something you can open up and go ahead and do.
I'm getting really thirsty. Sitting here talking to Scott about beer and precinct. I know where I'm going on the way home.
This guy is always thirsty, Scott. It's got to be said. Speaking of, exactly right. We'll be straight to the pub after this. Let's be honest. Look, we've touched on Precinct Brewery. Tell us about this venture, mate. And it's clearly going very well.
Yeah, Precinct's going real well. Again, I'm one of 5 owners, but it was my idea with my accountant. We wanted to find a venue.
You need him on board?
We needed the accountant on board, and we went looking at venues, and he found a brewer. His best mate was a brewer, so then we were halfway there. And then all of a sudden, where his office is, he found a site for us right beside it. So away we went. Precinct was born. And I said, we're going to do it my way. We're not going into wholesale real heavy. We're doing tap room and get the tap room right before we venture into the wholesale.
Yeah.
4 years down the track, we're still doing really good tap room, and we're just starting to venture into wholesale as we speak. You find us in a few places, but no, it was all about the tap room, promoting the vibe, creating the good beers, and getting everything right before we venture to the wholesale, because I've seen so many craft beer industries just go down the tube now because of the wholesale, and it's tough out there.
That's right. I mean, they go to, at least they can go and taste the beer before that. Sometimes you buy that beer and go, that is terrible, I'm never going back to that. But they go to the tap room, have a beer, have some food, enjoy themselves, and they see it on the shelf, they're going to grab it straight away.
Absolutely, and I think it's not dissimilar to Jason Page, who we had from Punk Rock Peppers, and we talked to him about going wholesale with his award-winning world peppers, and he's like, look, no, I don't. I'd rather not get the millions, because they'll just ruin it. Often they just ruin your business, and they put their own shit into it, and you just don't need that. And I do like that kind of moral compass of what you're doing. It's really good. We talk about beer a lot, don't we, Scotty, on this show? And
it's our favourite subject.
Favourite subject. And I've got something for you, Scott. We have a discussion about. I've discovered kind of different kinds of beer, like sour beers and different tasting beers. How do you feel about these?
I love them. I'm a big sour drinker. I've recently converted to Guinness as well as a stout drinker. But I'm a big fan of all those sort of beers that come out. I'm not a big triple IPA person, because two of them and you're drunk, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
But I do like all the sours. We do a Coca-Cola sour, we do a raspberry sour, we do a strawberry sour.
Really?
And they are all good beers.
Oh.
We're actually going to Crafted this year with a Coca-Cola sour. So it's
We'll see you there.
We will see you in a couple of days, mate. If not this afternoon, to be honest.
But we do all those sort of beers. Good.
Yeah, I love it. I was in a Japanese restaurant, just discovered it a few weeks ago, and it took me back, because I used to be a really adventurous drinker when I was in the UK, and since I've been here, I just drink all the plain, boring beers, and it's really kind of got me back into, exploring some really good taste. But I think I told Scotty I got some, I didn't realise they were 9% cans one night, and I was on about the fourth, and I was literally falling over, and Jade was like, what are you doing?
It's tough, eh? The percentage is
pretty hard.
I love the taste, but oof.
We don't look at the percentage on the cans, we just go, we'll have that.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
Pretty. So we've talked about your ventures, mate, and how successful you've been, and we do take our hat off to you. It's absolutely brilliant. But what's next for Scott Imlach, mate? Have you got any, is there a kind of dream bar, restaurant that you're kind of coming up with at the moment, or anything in the pipeline?
Oh, the dream is always there. It's just finding the right location with the right venue.
Yeah.
And funny you say it, we talked about it at the start. I would love to do a proper English pub.
Oh.
With a proper ales and everything on tap, and the right Guinness on tap, and the right music and the right vibe with the right food.
Yeah.
But it's just finding the right location with the right area. It's very difficult out there, especially on Queensland and the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And probably the whole of this side of Australia. And don't really feel like moving to Perth at the moment, because they don't have pokie machines and pubs over there.
Yeah. Okay.
The band over there. That, and I would also love to do a wine and cheese bar with, there's a couple on the cards, the venues we're looking at the moment, wine and cheese for the upmarket sort of people, but it's all really affordable. But for the couples that want to go out and have a drink, because you tell me, where do you go on the Gold Coast where you can have a drink with your missus with nice wine and just something light to eat?
Yeah,
and not be harassed with other people.
There aren't many, are there? Let's be honest.
I don't know without.
Yeah. I used to live on Chevron Island. There was one that opened, and it kind of doubles up as a breakfast and a wine bar in the afternoon, just as you come off the back of the island. That was pretty good. The cheeses weren't very good. No. The wine was reasonable, but it had the ambience, if you know what I mean, and it had that kind of potential to be. But you're right, you're spot on. There's not many out there.
Again, it needs to have outdoor seating. It needs to have it all, and very light and bright, and just trying to find everything that I want in the right spot, and I want it north facing. So I've got my wish list, but just can't find it at the moment.
Yeah. I probably know the answer to this question, because we've had a discussion about it just previously. Is the Gold Coast or Queensland as a whole keeping up with the Melbourne and Sydney as sort of the outdoory, the venue sort of restaurant bars and that sort of thing? Are we there?
No, we're not there. We're not there, and we won't be there until we get up there and start changing some laws and some of the liquor licensing laws and some of even the local council rules. Like you said before, you're from England. Just a little thing. This is just a simple thing that makes England so good. You can sit on the footpath and drink your beer outside the pub.
Yeah.
In Gold Coast, you're not allowed to stand outside. If you stand outside, I can cop a fine for it.
Yeah, well.
Outside a venue.
Yeah.
It's one thing I'm actually going to take to Tom and the council very shortly to say, hey, let's just relax this on a bit. And I've got all the evidence on my phone of all these different pubs overseas and even in Melbourne that you can stand outside the pub and have a pint.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but
It
makes
is,
a
mate,
vibe.
and absolutely. And you're right with Melbourne. When we were there last year, like the pub culture down there is almost on par with England. Some even better in the food as well. And I think you're right. And sitting in that beer garden or on that footpath and just having your drink outside in a glass, that's what you want, isn't it? Simple stuff.
Yeah, just want it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, and we thank you for coming in. And yeah, we'll look forward to visiting several of your venues probably over the next few days, Scotty. We might
Appreciate you on the way home,
we might
I'm
go on
telling
a little pub crawl here. What do you reckon?
I'm on.
Thanks,
We
Scott.
might have to do a Grillaz lager or something. Or
We would love that.
We'll get
Yeah.
one sorted.
Oh, mate, that's absolutely brilliant. Keep it with the Grillaz every Saturday, same time, same place, Scotty. Will you be back with me on Rebel
I
FM? next
certainly
week?
will. I love it and I enjoy it. And let's keep talking about
Well,
beer.
Just like beer, isn't it? It's lovely.
See ya.